Well, good evening from Painesville, outside the nation's capital, Monrovia. This is the US-based Focus on Liberia online television network. And like I told you earlier on, we are beaming live and direct from the commercial hub of Painesville, outside Monrovia. We are specifically at the ELWA Junction, just to show you progress of the work being carried out here by a Chinese company. All right, we're out here to show to you the level of progress being made here at the ELWA Junction as far as this project is concerned. The company that is in charge of this road construction is China Chengguan International Construction Corporation, or CICO, if you will, CICO. Well, CICO started the agreement about this construction work in 2018 during the rule of former President George Monrovia, and the agreement was signed. This road corridor begins from here, the ELWA Junction, to Coca-Cola factory in Painesville, and the agreement was reached in 2018 by the China Chengguan International Construction Corporation, or CICO for short, and the stretch is 6.1 kilometers. And we're just out here today to show you the level of progress being made so far, so good as far as this road project is concerned. Like I told you earlier on, it was initiated by the past government in 2018. Former President George Monrovia initiated that. But by the way, earlier discussion was initiated by the ELWA government at the time, but then the government had to exit, and then was the introduction of the ELWA government, and so the government continued on that pace, reinforced the agreement. It was properly negotiated, and so CICO took on the initiative to have this road constructed. Like I told you, this is a different contract, different agreement. This one begins from ELWA Junction to the Coca-Cola factory, and it's about 6.1 kilometers. And so far so good as it stands. This is how the ELWA Junction looks following thorough road work, intensive road work. This is a view of the ELWA Junction, and so you see the stretch. We'll go across for you to allow you to have a clear glimpse of what the project is at the moment. And so we are out here today to tell you more about this project and show you the level of work carried out by the CICO Corporation. As you may know, CICO remains one of Liberia's greatest partners in terms of road construction. And of course, this 6.1 kilometer of road, when completed, will give access to red light, the commercial district, particularly marketers and community dwellers who are delighted to see the completion of this road. And following the completion of this road, it will help to eliminate the traffic congestion that usually occurs around that particular corridor. I mean, from ELWA Junction to the Coca-Cola factory area. And the agreement between the government of Liberia then was all about the ELWA Junction to Coca-Cola factory corridor. This agreement was legislated in 2018, like I told you earlier on, with finance or financial support from the government and other partners, including the World Bank. And talking about the World Bank, I can recall very well the early part of 2023, World Bank representative at the time to Liberia, Mr. Usman Diagana, toward this corridor. I can recall from ELWA Junction here towards Red Light. I was a part of that tour during the rule of former President George Monrovia. And so from that day up to current, the road work is continuing. Over there is another stretch leading towards the Roberts International Airport, but that was a different agreement and it's also ongoing. We just thought to highlight the level of work here at the ELWA Junction, just right before the Liberia Revenue Authority. As you may know, the China Qingguan International Construction Corporation, or CICO, is acclaimed in Liberia for its specialized engineering performance in road network, building and other engineering works. It has been successful in Liberia over the years, and CICO has several landmark projects in Liberia. So CICO is the company that is concentrated with this road work from ELWA Junction to the Coca-Cola factory end. And so yes, this is the junction for you. Right before me is a square. Before coming on live, I managed to see the entire blueprint. It's just right on the Ministry of Public Works official Facebook page. When you go there, I'm sure you will have a view of what the junction will look like. What the junction will look like when it is completed. And so, yes, in the middle is a square that will be beautifully decorated when it is completed. But as it stands, this is the level of work being carried out so far so good at the ELWA Junction. So the main route is closed from town to ELWA Junction is closed, and from the Roberts International Airport to ELWA Junction as well is closed, as well as from ELWA Junction towards Red Light is also closed. So the work is just concentrated right in the middle here, and it's going on very well. You see all of the earth moving equipment all packed just on the other hand of the road as the construction continues. And so you're watching the US-based Focus on Liberia online television network. Good evening from Painesville, also Monrovia. If you've just joined us, my name is Theo Williams. I will try to highlight what is happening here at ELWA Junction specifically. And so stay with us as we take you on a brief tour of this road work that is ongoing at the moment. Like I told you earlier on, CICO has been a true partner in terms of road network in Liberia. They've been very instrumental and dedicated to building doable roads in Liberia, delivering on their social corporate responsibility as an entity. And so this is a view, a clear view of the ELWA Junction. We just thought to highlight the level of progress being made so far so good as far as this construction is concerned. It was legislated in 2018 by the ELWA government And as we know, government is continuing with it, like many will say. And so the Bwaka-led government will continue from where the Weah government stopped in an effort to enhance development across Liberia. Road construction taking place almost every part of Liberia. As we know, the construction of major roads or major highways remains atop the agenda of the current president, President Joseph Yuman Bwaka. And so the government is also in this to ensure that the work is completed and this corridor is turned over to the public in order to decongest some of the huge traffic at times, especially along this route. Once again, it's a 6.1 kilometer road that will give access to folks who travel along the road from ELWA to Red Light and other parts of Pinsville. As you may know, Red Light is the commercial district. It's a commercial hub in Red Light, in Pinsville, sorry. And when this corridor is completed, it's going to give access to marketers, community dwellers who are very eager to see the work being completed and turned over. Like I mentioned earlier on, this will eliminate the traffic congestion that usually occur around this particular corridor. So yes, focus on Liberia. We promote all things Liberia. We educate, inform, and elevate all things Liberia. And so this is ELWA Junction for you folks. Massive road work ongoing by SICO. And absolutely, vehicles are not allowed to use this route. Like I told you earlier on, where I'm posted now is the route that leads to the Roberts International Airport. As you can see, what I'm posted is the route that leads to the Roberts International Airport. You can see another stretch of road has been done, but that is a different project. And this project is the ELWA to Coca-Cola factory corridor. And so on this other end is from ELWA Junction leading towards Red Light. This is the rear route. And this other end is from AB Tower Road leading toward parts of Pinsville. And there's a detour to Red Light as well. And on this other hand is the main route from ELWA Junction to Central Town, or Central Monrovia, if you will. And so yes, it's a very big corridor. The stretch is very huge, and in the middle is a square. I will try to back up a little bit so that you have a glimpse of the square. And like I told you earlier on, the blueprint, I'm told, is on the official website of the Ministry of Public Works. So just so you want to have an idea of what the ELWA Junction will look like when it's completed, you can just go to the Public Works official Facebook page and you will have a glimpse of the ELWA Junction. It's a nice one, cool evening. Marketers are all along this corridor and selling as the breeze blows across Pinsville and past adjacent. And so this is the US-based Focus on Liberia online television network. We're out here today to allow you to have a glimpse of the ELWA Junction corridor from ELWA Junction to Coca-Cola factory. And so over there is the middle of the junction. As you can see, it's still under construction though, but over there is the square, and I'm told that square will be beautifully decorated and vehicles will go around. It's going to be like a turning point. If you just have a glimpse of the blueprint, the blueprint that is on the Ministry of Public Works official Facebook page, you have an idea of what the square will look like when it is completed. And so this particular corridor is restricted highly. No vehicular movement. Pedestrians are allowed to just walk along and go about their usual and regular hustle. But absolutely no vehicles are allowed to seal this corridor until it is completed and dedicated to the public. And so we just thought to highlight the level of progress being carried out here by the Chinese construction company, SICO. And again, this was an agreement reached in 2018. It was legislated. And this stretch is 6.1 kilometer from ELWA Junction to the Coca-Cola factory end. And that was the agreement was reached in 2018 during the rule of former President George Monrovia. And so he has left the presidency, and so it's often said government is continuing with it, and so the Baka-led government now will ensure that this corridor is completed, even though the agreement has been reached or was reached long ago. But I'm sure the current government will ensure that it is completed and dedicated to the public. So this is the ELWA Junction for you folks. I'm sure many of you have not seen ELWA Junction for quite a long time. Today you are opportune to have a clear glimpse of the junction, as Focus on Liberia brings you exactly what is happening here at the moment. It's a cool evening in Painesville. According to my own official time, it's 60 minutes past 6 o'clock in Liberia. And by this time, this entire area will be clustered. Vehicles and pedestrians will be all around this place. But because of the construction work, it's been restricted to some extent. And so absolutely vehicles are not allowed to enter from the RRA side. It is blocked, it is restricted because another road work is ongoing at that end. And from the red light end, it is also restricted. From the AB Tower Road side, it is restricted as well. And from the main town, it is also restricted. And so this is what it is. This is what it is, folks. All of you who have not seen ELWA Junction at the moment, as far as the construction is concerned, this is a clear view of ELWA Junction. You're watching Focus on Liberia online television. We educate, elevate, and promote all things Liberia. And so this is a high level of development that is ongoing in our country. And so as a media institution, we have that social responsibility to lift developmental stories and other interesting developments about Liberia as well as a media institution. That is part of our corporate social responsibility. And so we just thought to highlight and give you a brief history of this road. This is a different agreement. This is a different project. This is the ELWA to Coca-Cola factory corridor. Initiated in 2018, the agreement was reached. It was legislated under the ELWA government, and we just thought to bring you progress as far as the road construction is concerned. The RRA, the ELWA Junction to RRA is another project that we'll find some time to tour for you. So I urge you to keep following us, keep following Focus on Liberia online television network once you are looking for the very best in terms of accurate, balanced, and credible news and information, news about Liberia, Africa, and the rest of the world. We encourage you to keep following the US-based Focus on Liberia online television network. Thanks to our hard-working CEO, Mr. Dennis Jar, who is in Atlanta, Georgia, the US. He's the man always working behind the scene, making sure that he provides all of those professional pieces of advice to get the job done. He's always on our backs to ensure that we lift whatever development once it is about Liberia, be it political, be it something about the economy, be it sports, be it human interest, be it whatever. Dennis Jai is always on our back to ensure that we bring you accurate, balanced, and credible news and information. Thanks to Anthony here as well, our head of operations. He's based in Minnesota, the US as well. The man who's always making sure that we are logistically equipped to go all across Liberia to bring up developments as they unfold. And thanks to the entire team here in Liberia. On behalf of the team, my name is Theo Williams. Thank you ever so much for being with us on this brief tour of the ELWA Junction. The ELWA Junction to Coca-Cola factory was an agreement reached in 2018 by the WEA-led government. And at some point in time, the work was at a slow pace. For assistance, the work has accelerated to a greater extent, and it's going very well. And so on behalf of the team, once again, my name is Theo Williams. Thank you ever so much. We'll find some time, folks, to go deep as far as the Coca-Cola end, just to allow you have a glimpse of that side of the road project as well. And so until then, we'd love to say thank you ever so much for being with us and have a great time. Keep following Focus on Liberia online television as we bring you news about Liberia, Africa, and the rest of the world. Have a great time from Painesville, outside the nation's capital, Monrovia.